Hey folks, for Father's Day I thought I'd try to make it through some of my dad's old favorite songs. I'm going to start off with one he used to have me play guitar for on, called My Tennis Shoes Are Way Too Big. I like to party and have a good time. I like good food, I like to drink a little wine, but I don't like to dance, 'cause I'll trip every time, 'cause my tennis shoes are way too big. I don't get along with the Witcher elite. I'm kinda bashful about the people that I meet, especially when they laugh when they look at my feet, 'cause my tennis shoes are way too big. The girls that I meet, I always lose. The people that I meet, they just give me the blues when they look at my feet and laugh at my shoes, 'cause my tennis shoes are way too big. I met this pretty girl, her name was Rose. We went to my place and she says, anything goes, but she turned and walked away when she looked at my toes, 'cause my tennis shoes are way too big. The girls that I meet, I always lose. The people that I meet, they just give me the blues when they look at my feet and laugh at my shoes, 'cause my tennis shoes are way too big. Some people think I'm funny 'cause I'm skinny as a twig. I'm wearing these tennis shoes, it's just way too big. Some people see my feet, they think that I'm dumb, but I'm a big hero back where I come from. You see, I trumped out this grass fire before it reached town. I saved a whole village from burning down. I was a hero, at least I made the local news when I trumped out that fire with my big tennis shoes. The girls that I meet, I always lose. The people that I meet, they just give me the blues when they look at my feet and laugh at my shoes, 'cause my tennis shoes are way too big. He always told me with this one that even though neither one of us were very religious, that we could probably get a few people saved with it. It's an old Don Francisco tune called He's Alive. The gates and doors were barred and all the windows fastened down. Spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound, half in hopeless sorrow and half in fear the day we find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. Just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gates began to rattle and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window and looked down into the streets, expecting swords and torches, sound of soldiers' feet. There was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me as she told us where they'd been. She said they moved him in the night and none of us knows where. The stone's been rolled away and now his body isn't there. We both ran for the garden and John ran on ahead. We found a stone in the empty tomb, just the way that Mary said. But the winding sheet they had wrapped him in was just an empty shell. How or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. Something strange had happened there, just what I did not know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him. then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I'd promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I denied I knew his name. Even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same. And suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. A light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide. I fell down on my knees and just clung to him and cried. He raised me to my feet, and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from him like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet release. Every fear I'd ever had just melted into peace. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive and I'm forgiven. Heaven's gates are open wide. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive and I'm forgiven. Heaven's gates are open wide. He's alive, he's alive, he's alive. Let's see what I want to do now. I'll do one he wrote next. It's called Which Part Goes Where. When I was just a little kid, I did what all the little kids did. I rounded a rosy and seeked and hid, puked and blubbered and wet the bed. Like any inquisitive little boy, I took apart my favorite toy. Then I cried 'cause all the parts were there, but I couldn't remember which part went where. Then I got me a brand new bike. Lord, you've never seen the like, but I did it serious injury when a tree jumped out in front of me. My older brother took it all apart, and he spoke the words that broke my heart. He said, looks like all the parts are there, but be darned if I know which part goes where. When I was 11 or a little older, I met this girl who was somewhat bolder. She said, Lola is my name, playing doctor and nurse is my game. Next thing I knew, we both were bare, but all I could do was stand and stare. It was plain to see all the parts were there, but I didn't know which part went where. Then I grew up and got me a car. That sucker would go like a shooting star, but I hit a semi leaving the bar to go like hell, but it didn't go far. Well, I guess that I was not quite dead, 'cause I heard as the ambulance driver said, just make sure all the parts are there and we'll let the doc figure out which part goes where. So they gathered up my various pieces, except perhaps for a little feces, and they dumped them all on a hospital bed where a doctor was waiting with a needle and thread. Well, I suppose that doctor was really good, and no doubt he did the best that he could, but I don't think he knew which part went where, 'cause now I'm talking to you through my underwear. This is one my sister wrote. Actually, it's my sister, Will Maring, and an old guitar teacher I had. Dad always loved the chord progression and wanted to write the other verses to it that my sister finished up. This one's Donny Girl. We're alone, little roan in the evening pale, driving them old doggies on down the trail. In rain or shine, sleet or hail, it's me and my Donny girl. There's not another soul here for company. The trail belongs to my Donny girl and me. A faithful friend she will ever be, me and my Donny girl. By day we ride the open range, by night we sleep 'neath the sky. Constant companions as seasons change, my Donny girl and I. The stars winking not in the velvet sky, and wish the world good night with a weary sigh. We'll rest a spell while the moon is high, me and my Donny girl. I might lose some of you on this one because it's about a 6-minute long song, but my dad was a self-proclaimed old folkie, and this was probably his favorite song of all time. It's called, and the band played Waltzing Matilda. Well, when I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life of the rover. From the Murray Screen Basin to the dusty outback, well, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time you stopped rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. And how well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and that how in that hell that they call Suvla Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was waiting, he primed himself well. He showered us with bullets and rained us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat he blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours and the Turks buried theirs. Then we started all over again. And of those who were left, well, we tried to survive in that mad world of blood, death, and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I woke up in me hospital bed and saw what it had done, well, I wished I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying. But the band played Waltzing Matilda all around the green bush, far and free. For to hump tents and pegs, a man needs both his legs. No more Waltzing Matilda for me. So they gathered the crippled, the wounded, the maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind, the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked on the place where me legs used to be, and thanked Christ there was nobody waiting for me to grieve, to mourn, and to pity. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as he carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered, they just stood and stared. Then they turned all their faces away. And so now every April I sit on me porch and I watch the parade pass before me. And I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old dreams of past glory. And the old men move slowly on bones stiff and sore. They're tired old heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But as year follows year, more old men disappear. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, Waltzing Matilda, who'll go waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as they march past the Billabong. Who'll go waltzing Matilda with me? One hymn and I listened to together, him and my sister and I recorded together, an old Jimmy Driftwood tune called Rattlesnake Song. On a rattlesnake me-why mountain where I D-why dwell, and I heard a Stee-why story I'm gonna T-why tell. Come a root, I root, I root. A nice young me-why man in the month of me-my May went to the Fee-why field to hay for to mow-why mow. Come a root, I root, I root. He had not mow-why mowed around the Fee-why field till a rattle come a Snee-why wake and a bit him on a he-why heel. Come a root, I root, I root. He jumped up a he-why high and looked all a ree-why round, and he closed his e-why eye and he fell to the g-why ground. Come a root, I root, I root. He said, oh little bird, go tell my g-why gal that a rattlesnake b-why bit not needs my c-why sow. Come a root, I root, I root. The bird did flee, why fly and spread the new why news, and here come a c-why Sally without any shoe why shoes. Come a root, I root, I root. She said, "Oh Johnny dear, I'll save your Leeway life if I may be your sweet little wee wife. Come a roo. She grabbed his Leeway leg and made him squeal and sucked the poison blood all out of his Leeway heel. Come a roo. Come all young me-why men in a lesson T-why take, don't ever get a B-why bit by a rattle snee-why wait, come a roo. When a rattlesnake B-why bites, it hurts like a knee-why knife. When a woman B-why bites, you're bit for the rest of your life. Come a roo. And I had to do a peppy one before I tried to close out with this one because I don't know if I'll be able to make it through it or not. This one's called My Old Man. Alright, idiot cable up. I miss my old man tonight. I wish he was here with me, with his corny jokes, his cheap cigars. He could look you in the eyes and sell you a car. That's not an easy thing to do, but no one ever knew a more charming creature on this earth than my old man. He was a pilot in the big war, U.S. Army Air Corps, in a C-47 with a heavy load full of combat cargo for the Burma Road. And after they dropped the bomb, he came home and married Mom. And not long after that, he was my old man. And oh, the fights we had when my sister and I got him mad. He'd get all boiled up, he'd start to shout, and I knew what was coming, so I tuned him out. And now the old man's gone, and I'd give all I own to know what he was saying when I wasn't listening to my old man. I miss my old man tonight. I can almost see his face. He was always trying to watch his weight. His heart only made it to 58, and for the first time since he died, late last night I cried. I wondered when I'd do that for my old man. Alright, that's about all I can do. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you.